You're still relevant.
Are we on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we're on
Tuesday.
Ta-da! Tuesday.
Okay. What? Are we recording?
Yes.
Why you stop doing that
Well,
to
I
me?
do the whole 3, 2. You go, are we on Tuesday? It's like, yeah. There was the whole 3, 2. You're like, oh, what? Are we recording? Hey, which way did it go? What's the matter with you?
Today is Tuesday. Welcome to Quickie with Miss B.
Tuesday.
This week I have questions. And I
got
purposely
questions.
found the strangest questions that I could out there online. Whew. Anyways, if you missed the first episode, you can go back and check that out on your favorite podcast platform.
There you go.
Getting tricky. So today, I don't even have an answer for this question. I'm just going to tell you that right up front.
I don't think you have a lot of answers for any of your questions.
Well, sometimes I do. This one, no. Okay, so get this. What kind of animal swims backwards underwater, but forwards on top of the water?
Lobster?
What?
Lobster? Lobsters swim backwards.
Why do they swim backwards?
So they can see where they're going.
But their eyeballs go all over their freaking head. Remember?
They swim backward. They go. They take their tail and flap it up underneath them to pull them backwards. That's how they swim. They swim backwards.
They use all of their tail or just a piece of tail?
That tail, just their tail goes foomp, foomp, foomp backwards and pulls them backwards. So that's how they swim, is backwards, so they can see everything in front of them. Make sure nothing grabs them.
And they swim on top of the water?
Well, no. They can come to the top, but I just was guessing because the only thing I know that swims backwards is lobster.
Well, lobsters are just weird.
So do there's a few lobsters swim backwards, and those big shrimps, they start with a name. It starts with an M. I can't think what it is. They swim backwards. A few of the giant shrimp will swim backwards because their tails curl under like this. So that's what
those things are paranoid.
Well, that's what it is.
I gotta watch it.
Living your life in paranoia of being eaten because you're yummy. You're like, every fish eats me, all the humans eat me, everything eats me. So seeing where I'm going is important, but also watching who's coming after me. So I'm going to swim backwards. I always wondered what happens if the thing that's going to eat you is behind you and you're swimming backwards.
I don't read it, yeah.
No matter what, you have a vulnerable spot.
Oh, gosh. I don't want to be that yummy that everybody's going to want to eat me-ish.
Everything wants to eat a shrimp.
Oh.
Everything.
No. And
including people. They're like, well, there's shrimp, yeah. Peel and eat. Let's go, baby.
No. No creepy heaps. No lobster.
What is the
I don't know. As I said, I don't have an answer for this one. Anybody out there have an answer for this one? Email us.
Wow, so you threw this out when what's your favorite restaurant? I don't have one. Next question. Oh, that was awesome. Stretch it out. Come on, stretch it out. I don't have one, John. Next question.
I don't know. I mean,
the only thing I can think of is like shrimp or a lobster. They swim backwards. Now, shrimps do swim on the surface and down low.
Well, maybe they're making reference to shrimp.
Yeah.
Is it a different kind of shrimp?
I know tiger shrimp in Florida. I've seen them on the top of the water swimming, and they were going forward, and I know they swim backwards underwater. So I'm going to guess shrimp.
Well, what's a tiger shrimp? Does it have stripes?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. if it was a leopard shrimp, it would have dots. So yeah.
Seriously, they have
Yeah,
stripes.
they have stripes. Yeah, they have stripes. Dark. Think of a gray shrimp, a big gray shrimp with like a darker colored stripes going across. They call it a tiger shrimp. Because it has stripes like a tiger.
It's gray?
Yeah. But it turns red when you cook it. That's how you know it's yummy and done.
No, thanks. No, I don't. Wow.
Shrimpers.
Tiger shrimp. I've never heard of tiger shrimp before.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know there's all different kinds of shrimp. There's like small,
like lobster. They have lobsters here in Maine. You've seen those. But then now imagine lobsters that have no giant claws on them at all. They have none. Just the tail and the head. And those are called spiny lobsters. Those are in Florida and a lot of other places. They
don't got no claws, no arms? What the hell?
They have arms. They just don't have any claws. Those giant pinching claws. They don't have those.
They must look like a little Tyrannosaurus Rex.
What it kind of looks like.
Like
and everybody's after them because they want to eat some tail. They're like, that lobster's got a big tail. I'm going to eat the tail. And that's all there is on it to eat.
Huge?
Yeah, they have big tails, just like a regular lobster. A regular lobster, most of its body is tail and the big claws. Now take away the big claws and go, there's a head and all that tail. And you eat the tail. So, yeah.
I'll pass.
You get purrs, just like a shrimp. Yep. What is a shrimp? It's all tail and head. You don't eat the head, you eat the tail. So there you go. Just settle down for a nice piece of tail.
And on that note, we need to take a break. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to a Quickie with Miss B, and if you want to know about lobster tail and shrimp tail, you need to go back and listen to the first half of the episode.
And you'll probably be as confused as we were when we said
it. So this week we're talking about I have questions. I try to find the weirdest, funniest, strangest questions that just absolutely make no sense. And so now I have another one. You know, you and I living here in the northern part of the United States, we deal with winter.
Yep.
Winter every year. So I saw this question I had to ask. Where do mosquitoes go during winter?
I believe I think they literally like frogs. They freeze. They freeze and then their bodies have like an antifreeze. Because frogs do it. You ever wondered? They go, where's a frog go? Do they hibernate? You go, well, no, they don't go up to the mountains and go hibernate. And all the frogs hop up to the top of the mountain, dig a burrow, and hibernate. You go,
next to the bear.
Yeah, you're like, they're on the water's edge. They were there yesterday, and now it's cold. Where are they? Believe it or not, their bodies have like an antifreeze in them, so that the cells won't freeze like
solid.
Right? Because you put a piece of chicken in the freezer. You come back a year, it's got freezer burn, and it doesn't taste right, and the structure of the meat now is all messed up. So to eliminate that from happening to them, because they die, they have this special antifreeze in their body, so they never freeze that way. They don't freeze at the molecular structure, solid as a rock, where it gets all messed up. They have this chemical in their body that doesn't allow them to totally freeze solid as a rock. So they freeze, and they just lay there, frozen, wherever they are. I've actually found a frog. I have found a frog on the side of the bank, laying there. I thought it was dead. It was not dead.
Huh. Oh yeah, I can see frogs, but like mosquitoes though? Do they
I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing because they don't. You don't ever hear about the migratory habits of the mosquito. You know, the Canadian mosquitoes that are like birds. They don't go to Florida for the freaking winter. You see clouds of mosquitoes. That doesn't happen. They stay there. So it's like, well, if they stay there and they can't fly around in the winter time because it's too freaking cold and they die. So what happens to them? Because they have little larvae. You see them. They're like tadpoles, but they're like tiny itty bitty things. And those are your mosquito larvae. Then they come out and they hatch and boom. Okay, well, obviously the water's all frozen, so those aren't running around. So what's happening? either those little larvae freeze in the water and stay in that suspended state of animation until, spring comes and they emerge like normal, and then move on,
Oh,
or like the frogs do, or they freeze as an actual critter. But somehow or other, I believe my opinion is they're like frogs. They'll freeze till spring comes and then they unthaw.
so they got a little antifreeze in their system, so to speak.
I
So
believe.
when a
I
mosquito
believe that.
bites you, does you get the little bit of antifreeze in your body then?
No,
too?
but one of the interesting things is though, if a mosquito goes to bite you and you smack it, it doesn't finish its process. Believe it or not, look it up, and I encourage anybody. There's a process to a mosquito bite. They first have that stinger so tiny it slides like it's a hypodermic right into your arm. All right.
Yeah.
You don't even feel it going in. You think you do, but you don't feel it at all. It goes right on in. The last thing they do is they secrete something that comes out of their body that's supposed to like stop it from bleeding. That secretion that comes out of their body is how they pass on these diseases. Because they're drawing in your blood and then they put back something. That something they're putting back is what carries all the different bacterias and the bad things and all that. Because the interesting thing about them is you think, well, that he fills up with blood, then he shoots it out over here, then he goes back and fills the tank up again. But he's not putting it back into you. It's such a tiny amount. What happens is they have a process. I don't know if it's not like an antiseptic, but I guess it's to make it so you don't feel it and you don't smack them. It's usually the only thing you feel of a mosquito when it lands on you is the fact that it landed on you. You feel your hairs or whatever in your arm moving. You're like, the minute you hit it, believe it or not, you break off the stinger in your skin and then you get a bump there and all that. We're the ones that make that mosquito bite like that because he went in, and if he comes out all by himself, you won't have that big old bite. But when he goes in and you smack it, you snap it off in your skin. You smash
it off.
Yeah.
That'll wreck your whole day if you're a mosquito.
That's right. You snap it right off. That's why some of them are so big. I mean, they got that stinger, and how thin is it? And you went like that. What do you think happened to it? You just broke it off in your body, and now you got this big old giant welt there. It's like, well, why do you think? There's a foreign object in your stinking skin. That's why you have a giant thing.
I don't want nothing in my skin.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Oh, okay. Well, we need to be done.
There you go.